So let's go over this TV LED backlight. I'm gonna go over what this is. I'm gonna go over an installation of it, then show you all the different settings that the app has, and talk about who this is for, all to help you make a better informed buying decision. Okay, so this is an LED strip for the back of your TV. And this is meant for a 55-inch to 65-inch TV, although you could get by with a little bit of a smaller TV or even a little bit of a bigger one. As you'll see with installation, you can overlap. If you have a smaller TV, you just add another layer right below the little LEDs that you put. And as long as the TV isn't too big compared to a 65-inch, then you'll get around most of the TV. But ideally, you have a 55-inch to 65-inch TV. Okay, so let's go over a setup of these LED lights on the back of my TV. Okay, so the first thing you wanna do is wipe off the back of your TV with a rag or a paper towel, just to get all the dust off of where you're gonna put the actual lights. Then we'll go ahead and use the alcohol pad as well. Okay, so it is gonna depend, of course, on your TV, where you wanna position it. So we added the little top remote just to see what it looks like. So we're gonna have our strip go from here all the way to down here. We're not gonna go all the way down to the bottom because there's a big hump here. So the lights won't shine as much down on the bottom, but that's okay. Ideally, you just have a really flat back to your TV so you can put it from edge to edge. Okay, so we have our lights. So we'll start with the two connection ends, and we'll start working this way. And what we'll wanna do is we'll wanna peel off the 3M tape or the back of the 3M tape as we put it on the TV. So we're not gonna do it all at once. We're just gonna pull it off a little bit at a time. I'm gonna push down on the TV as we lay it across. Pull off a little more, keep pushing down on the TV. We'll make sure we go to the edge up here. You can see right on the edge, and then we can turn it. Pull off some more of the tape. Okay, and now we'll come down, and we'll actually come down, we'll cut across right here, right before we get to this little hump. Okay, so you can see we have a little extra here, so we're just gonna wrap it more around the TV, just below it and around. So again, this LED light strip is for 55-inch to 65-inch TVs. So if you do have a smaller TV, you can just do what we're doing here. Okay, and then you can add on these little pieces. There's 3M tape on the bottom. You add them onto the corners to keep the lights from falling and in place. So these look like they're pretty stuck on, so I'm just gonna leave these off for now. All right, we can go ahead and plug this in now. I have an outlet right here. Then we'll add this on the top. First, let's connect this. Let's connect all of them. Let's get connected here, the power cord, and the USB-C. Right here. Right, and we are all lit up now. All right, so we can turn it off, turn it on. So there's the installation of these LED lights. Again, a 55-inch to 65-inch TV. So you can use all the lights, but you can just overlap them if you would like to, if you have a smaller TV. So this can work for smaller TVs as well. So what makes this thing great? Well, it has a sensor that syncs up with the colors on your TV. And this is controlled by the uLamp app. Again, we'll go over all the settings so you can see how you can use it. Okay, so now let's have a look at the app. So we want to download the uLamp app. So go ahead and open it. Allow Bluetooth. Okay, and then we'll want to add a device. click the plus button on top, and we have the 𝗪03. Just click add, okay, and then finish adding. And we have this in the living room. We can put whatever location it's in, click save. Okay, and then we're given some Chinese. We need to change the language. But now we can see that's turned on. We can adjust this here. Let's go back, see if we can change languages. We can also turn it on and off from here, which is really cool. Go back in here, then we have English, it looks like. And then we have the different modes that we can adjust. Okay, and then we have the rhythm, and then this just syncs up to the sound. So we have 8 different options here. Then we have Australs. Then LC state. Meteorite. Star drift. Aurora. We have snow grains. Then ice pellets. Really not much change at all there. So those can just be adjusted, and you can just see the changes in the lights. So again, this syncs up to sound. Okay, so we have the TV sync mode, we have the multi-segment and the rhythm options here. And then within the multi-segment, we have the movie mode and the game mode. So this syncs up to the sound and video that we're seeing on the TV. So a really cool effect that this gives. So in the movie mode, of course, this will be for your movies, and this will be a slower changing of the lights. So of course, in a movie, you don't want to have them jump too quickly. That'll just be a little bit too distracting. And then with the game mode, they go a little bit quicker. As you can see it, the icon there with the lights behind the TV. It's a little bit quicker, a little bit slower. So it's showing you the pulsing of the lights. Okay, and then we have the dual mode here. So we can see on the little TV, there's different colors on the right and left when that's on. So it synchronizes to the TV. And then we turn it off, it'll just all be the same color. And then we have the left, right mirror, and that just reverses them. Okay, then we can go into the advanced settings, and we can turn on the luminance, adjust the luminance, so we can see that the lights get a little bit dimmer as we turn it down. And we can also add in saturation as well, more or less. And we have the dark scene enhancement, so we'll turn this to 100% and click that on, and it just gets even brighter with the dark scene enhancement. In automatic sleep, the lights will go off when the TV turns off. So it's good to have this on. And then we have the number of light beads. So if one goes out, you can just reduce this. Okay, and then going down to the bottom here, we can also add scenes, which is really cool. And that's just what it sounds like. It's not dynamic. Well, the scenes can be dynamic within themselves, but it's not set to the sound or the video at all. So if you just want a specific scene, you can have that. So we'll do Iceland blue. And then we can check out see fireworks. So really lighting up here, all the different colors. So there are a bunch of scenes to choose from. They can fit any mood. And then you can adjust the color as well. So you can just have a static color if you would like to have that fear scene. And you can use the little color palette here to change it, or you can use a color card. That's a little bit easier for you. Or you can use a combination of different colors, which is really cool. I like this feature, so you can just easily select a nice pair of colors. Okay, and then finally we have the rhythm mode, bottom right-hand corner, and we just choose the different rhythm, and we can have that be more sensitive or less sensitive. You can see we get a wide range of colors. 6 different rhythm modes to choose from. So we do like energy. It's a really energetic one. So as you can see, there's a lot of different modes. This is very easily customizable. So I can't show any TV on this because that will get copyright strikes. So unfortunately, I just can show you just in the app here, but you can see just how customizable this is and how many different modes you can get and just how many different scenes, you know, something that's much brighter and just going crazy like this with all these different lights, or just have a very, you know, static scene with just one color. It really just depends on what you're watching, what kind of lights you want and what mood you're in. You can easily find that with these lights. But the sensor is the key differentiator here. This is what allows it to sync up with the TV colors, and it really gives a much more submersive experience when you're watching really just anything, whether that's TV, whether you're gaming, you're watching movies, sports. It really just makes TV more fun. So specifically with the screen color sync, the lights mirror what's happening on the screen. So if there's a blue ocean scene, there's a blue glow. If there's like an explosion, it's orange and red. So of course with your basic LED lights, most LED lights, they don't sync up to colors, so they're just a little bit more static. You can only set certain scenes, which you can do on this as well. So if you want, you know, static colors or just a specific scene that rotates through colors or has a specific color set, you can do that as well. But you can also of course do the sync, which really differentiates these LED lights. So again, it just makes it more submersive. So it really enhances the effect. So if there's a scene again with a blue ocean, you really get that cool blue color, not just from the screen, but around the screen as well. And the lights do have a 50,000 hour lifespan. So what this means is it's around 5.5 years of continuous use. So that's if you left them on for 5.5 years, they would work that entire time. So if I'm looking at other LED lights, these last a little bit longer than most. So that's another great thing. You of course don't want to install these and then just have them die, you know, a year or two later. Okay, so the pros and cons of these LED lights. So the LED sync works really well, as you saw. It's responsive and it has accurate colors. Also, the app is really easy to use, really easy to customize everything, so you can get it set up right away. Also, the installation is really easy. It's literally just sticking the LED lights on the back of your TV and adding the little corner holders on the sides if you would like to. Another great thing about these is they reduce eye strain. So if you're in a dark room and you have these lights going, they will help reduce eye strain instead of just having the bright TV as the only light shining. So that's kind of like a good side effect of them that you normally wouldn't think about. And of course, the main pro is just having that submersive experience while you're watching TV. Okay, and then things that could be improved. The power cable is just a little bit short. It could be a little bit longer. I didn't have problems with it because I had a power outlet right there, but depending on your setup, you know, an outlet might be a little bit farther, and then you'd have to get an extension cable. So just a little bit annoying there. Just a little bit longer would be nice for the cable. And also, it'll depend on and how well the lights will work will really also depend on the lighting in your room. If you have a very bright room, or let's say, you know, it's in the living room and you have a lot of windows around and it's during the day, it's gonna be a little bit harder to see them. So it's almost better in a little bit less of a lit room. So who are these LED lights for? Really for your movie night, for gamers, people who watch sports, and just wanna let them add a little more excitement to your gaming or TV watching. And also, as mentioned, it can help reduce eye strain a bit in darker rooms. And so who this is not for, again, if you have a really bright room, these might not work really well. Of course, if it's, you know, dark, you can watch, you know, with the lights, but during the day, if you have a really bright room, you're not gonna see them as well. So this is absolutely a solid upgrade for your movie nights, sports watching, for your gaming. The screen sync works well. It's easy to install, the app is responsive, easy to set up, and it has good flexibility. So this is definitely an LED light set worth checking out.